Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kahalayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Hashem Akadadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect. Yeah, so this is going to be like a two-parter, a two-parter, if you will. So first order of business, today is the so-called 31st, which Esau deems the end of the calendar year according to their calendars, which is totally off because the calendar should start at according to the seasons, according to the moons. Okay, it says in Sirach 43rd chapter. Okay, the moon is known. The seasons are declared by the moons, right, and by the by the weather. So here it is. He started off dead of winter, which is totally backwards, man. Because that's when everything's dead. So Esau, that's why the scriptures describe him as representing death. On the planet Earth. Okay, so when we go back to our rest, our humble abode, when everything goes back to being under our authority and tutelage, we'll keep the days on the right day. We'll keep the new year will begin when it's supposed to, right, at an appropriate time, which would happen to be right around the March period, But so every year, the apostles they gave the year a name. So it's always kind of funny to look forward towards the what's going to be the name of this year, and it kind of puts the spirit on that year, kind of puts like a that's like the tradition, or whatever. But we'll see what they say later on today or tomorrow or whatever. But should be interesting, man. See, because this year should be an interesting year, man. You got Nero, you got so you got many things, all right, transpiring. Because we're at the end of the day approaching, man. All right, that's why it says Hebrews, the 10th chapter and the 25th verse says, "Not forsaking the assembly of ourselves, together as the manner of some is, but so much more as ye see the day approaching." As you see the day approaching, so it's exciting, man. To see the day approaching. All right, so the scripture say, "Miss not the discourse of the elders." Right, so when they bring out a decree of a year, it's kind of interesting to see what they're gonna say. What the spirit's gonna have. The brothers bring out. All right, and that's part of us watching. Okay. So matter of fact, let's get there too. Miss not the discourse. Let's get there too. Well, while I'm at it. It says, "Miss not the discourse." Miss not the discourse, because the talk, man's trials in his speech, right? So, Sirach 8. See, because that's what we're supposed to be speaking about. We're supposed to be speaking about the end. As the channel said, declaring the end. So we're supposed to be speaking or looking forward to the end. Now it says Sirach 8 and verse 8: "Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint thyself with their proverbs. For of them thou shalt learn instruction, and how to serve great men with ease. And miss not the discourse of the elders, for they have also learned of their fathers. And of them thou shalt learn understanding, to give answer as need requireth." Right. So, you miss not the discourse. They bring certain things out. You wanna keep tabs on what's going on. That's why it's a beautiful thing that we have access to the to the internet. You're able to communicate with brothers, stuff like that. You're able to share information and to know what's going on. But pretty soon, it's going to come a time when we ain't be able to reach each other. Um, that's why in the ancient world, they had to write letters, epistles, stuff like that. Now here it is. We have access to each other, if you will, on WhatsApp and this and that, but YouTube and different platforms. But pretty soon it's going to be a time where you ain't be able to hear the discourse of the brothers. Like the elders, ourselves. Brothers all over the world. The Lord speaking through them. But especially like the heads. All right. It's the Lord always relays messages through them. As He does all of the prophets. All right. But anywho, okay, it's exciting times we're living in, man. All right. So this year is concluding. This year is coming to an abrupt end, and now we're entering into 25, which we're not in the actual year 25. That's the white man's year, 25, 2025. All right, that's not an accurate year or number. But according to his calendar, which we're in his world, that's what it would be. So the year 2025, man, is approaching, or is here already, and we'll see what happens, man. But all things point to the MOTB. All things point to the Karakma. All things point to the mass chipping, of the world, which will be a fulfillment of Revelation 13th chapter, and the 11, 12 verse on down 14, 15 verse, man, which is one of the major prophecies for us to get up out of here. Cause that's what we're looking forward to, get up out of here. The Lord said, "Watch as well as pray." So when these landmark dates come around, the start of a new year, then we hope that this year, that this is the year that the Lord, that's why you'll see the brothers, they'll say, this is the year of the push or the year of this or that, right? Because it gives a theme to the year, and it gives like it gives a spiritual meaning, if you will. It's like a foreshadowing of what's to come in that year, But it's us hastening the day of the Lord, man. Which that's what the Lord told us to do, man. To hasten the day. All right. We're supposed to hasten this thing, man. All right. See, we're supposed to have a sense of urgency about the prophecies, man, and looking forward to the return of our Lord, man. That's what we are out there pushing His word for, and teaching His gospel, catching all His hell. So the Lord will shorten the days. That's why it says pray for a few days, man. Pray for a few days unto you, man. Pray for a few days. 2 Esdras 2 and verse 13 says, "Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you." Watch. So watch, man. You gotta stay locked into the prophecies, man. All right, you gotta stay locked into what's going on, the events around you. It says in Ephesians 5:15, be circumspect. All right, redeeming the time, for the days are evil. The time is short. All right, so we don't have too much distractions. All right, our minds focused on the prophecies. Sirach the 39th chapter. He that give his mind to the law of the Lord, how about Shemashai, is occupied, in the meditation thereof, and the prophecies, and what's going on in the world, man. All right. So shifting gears a little bit, I just wanted to say that. All right. We'll see what he decrees the year. I don't know what he says, but shifting the gears a little bit. When you watch all these different movies and shows and TV and all this, you start to see what's in these people's minds. What's in the minds of the heathen. Like they study you, you got to study them. So they imagine the vain thing, man. All right, everything about them. And see, this is how you got to use your logical thinking brain. You got to use your spiritual mind for more than just a fucking hat rack, man. All right, as the saying goes, the scriptures govern all things, man. The scriptures govern all things. So the scriptures clearly tell you what's about to happen, man. All right. If you have eyes to see and ears to hear, the scriptures tell you the Spirit speaking to the churches. He to have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit say to the churches. And the heathens, man, the heathens. If you let them tell it, if you pray, let them tell it. Uh, the world is going to be ran by AI, man. That's why the Lord sent down His understanding, His Spirit, man. And poured it upon the elect of His people, man, because that's who He's going to start the new world with, man. You know, um, these people here with their little imaginations and what they got going on, man is not smart enough to rule themselves. You know. Okay, matter of fact, Genesis 6. Read here. Genesis chapter 6 and verse 5. And the Most High Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. Okay, so the imagination of a man's heart is always evil continually. That's why the Lord told you that not to lean upon your own understanding. All right, but in Proverbs 3rd chapter, lean not upon your own understanding, because a man's imagination is vain. Right, the thoughts of mortal man are vain and corruptible. All right, so the Lord's prayer tell you that let the will be done on the earth as it is in heaven. That's the Lord's prayer. All right, let the Lord's will be done on the earth as it is in the heavens. All right. So what the people are doing is going about to establish their own righteousness. That's why it says in Second Peter, they shall be lovers of their own self, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, right? Truce breakers, self-willed, presumptuous. It says presumptuous, self-willed, and that's the heathen, man. They're raging and they're imagining a vain thing. You know, they're imagining the vain thing. They're imagining that they don't have spirituality. They're imagining that the world is going to go into a AI automated world where the machines are going to take over, and or a zombie outbreak is going to pop off, or there's going to be stranger things like characters that pop out of there and start devouring mankind. Or the Chinese are going to rule, or this one's going to rule, or that one's going to rule. The Russians. That's why it tells you in Psalms, the 2nd chapter. It says, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Which I'm going to get there in a second. It says, Psalms chapter 2. Psalms chapter 2 and Psalms chapter 2 and verse 1. It says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers together take counsel against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have him in derision. Man, yeah, because the people they think that they could take matters into their own hands, like they could do things of their own validity or their own fruition. But the truth of the matter is that the Most High
He rules in the kingdom of man. So why do the people imagine a vain thing? You know, the people, the silly rabbits of the world, they really perceive or think that the AI is going to take over technology. You know, the Chinese. You know, hey, look, bro, this is why we don't talk to these people in the world, man, because their heads are full of silliness, man. Okay, it says man's ways are of the Lord, man's goings of the Lord. Proverbs 20:24. It says, I know that it's not in man to direct his own steps. So the Lord, you have to understand that the Lord is real. The Most High, Yahweh, and Son Yahweh Shai, they're real. They're real powers that control the affairs of man on the earth. So, so when you watch all these movies in Hollywood and shit like that, they tell you that some dinosaurs were chomping down on humans, and that you had like lizards that was running the earth and all this other shit. That's all fantasy, man. You know. Okay, the Lord said man was created to rule the earth, man. Okay, the Lord said the Israelite man, the Lord created the earth for the Israelite man. So the Lord, when He set up the earth, He didn't create it. It said He created to be destroyed. He said created to be inhabited. All right, so one must use his thinking cap, you know, and put the scriptures to the test and understand that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men. You know, so it said Jeremiah 10 and verse 23. It said, "Oh Lord, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps." Okay, so the so-called white man is not in control. The Chinese is not in control. The Russians are not in control. Which one of these nations, they're not in control. None of them are in control. All right, their weaponry, their power, you know, the AI is going to take over. The Terminator, this and that. You know, the people are just silly, man. Silly doves, silly rabbits, man. The people are silly. That's why the Lord said, "Woe to you, land, when your king is a child." Ecclesiastes, the 10th chapter. Let's get that. Woe to thee, O land, when our king is a child, because you got silly people running things, man. You got the masses, you know, the zombies have the inmates have broken out, taken over the asylum. The apostle like to say, you know, you got the freaking, you got the freaking, you got the women over there in positions of authority running shit, you know, with their silly minds. They got silly minds, all right, most of them. Um, then you got the so-called white man who's a fucking child, all right, as it says in Isaiah 3:12. Children are oppressors and women rule over them. So you got vanity that's running around controlling the narrative of the people, you know, of the imaginations of these people, controlling the ideas and the thoughts of these men and these women out there. They really think that the white man's his America is gonna continue, and you know, we're gonna be sitting here working jobs forever, or the AI is going to take over. I mean, look, bro, this is why this world is in constant vexation, because there's no understanding, man. Here, man, there's no fear of the Lord. There's no judgment, and ultimately, there's nothing but darkness. That's why it's called a land of darkness, as darkness itself. So, Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 16 says, "Woe to the old land when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season, for strength and not for drunkenness." So the people are drunken with the wine of Babylon, which is vanity. That's why they put all these movies to confuse the people. They know the people are dumbasses. The people are simple-minded. You know, that's why the Lord brought the apostles, the prophets, the men of the Most High, all right, to bring forth understanding on what's going on the earth, man. All right, what's going on in the future, what's going on in the past, in the present, how it ties all together to the scriptures. All right, and the people are too silly and dumb as hell to understand, anyways. And Esau got their asses in the trick bag, and the Most High got them in the trick bag, because all they do is work, 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 drink, smoke, weed, party, and they don't. That's why the Lord told you to be sober minded, so you can understand what's going on, dummy. So you can understand who you are as a person, what's your role in life. You know, who are the true God and His Son. Who's the enemy? What tribe you come from? What nationality you are? What's your where your faith is supposed to be at. You know, what's the whole purpose of this life? You know, and everything in it, man. So the Lord said he brought men of understanding, men furnished with ability to teach his flock, his people. But a nigga is too simple. He's not sophisticated enough to comprehend what's happening to him or around him or her, or for that matter. So what do? They lean on imaginations, vanity, stories they tell themselves, you know, in their own minds. You know, oh, this one's gonna take over. The white man's gonna take over, or the Chinese. But they don't read. They don't go into the scriptures. They don't believe, and that's why the Lord told you, "He that believe not is condemned already." So this is how you know that the word is only for the election, because everybody else is a silly fucking dove. Their minds are just totally gone. They don't believe in the Lord. They don't understand what's going on in front of them, right in front of their faces. They don't understand that this Bible's being fulfilled. Look, man, your family, your mama, your daddy, everybody around you is a silly dove, man. They got their minds in vanity. They might as well be like the heathen. That's why the Lord's gonna change us and write the laws in our inward parts, man. Literally put the understanding inside of you. Because in these bodies subject to sin and being very alienated from your God, being away from your power, what happens is you become a straight dumbass, and you become like a heathen. You become vain in your mind. Look at these people; they don't have any knowledge, man. These people don't have no knowledge. They are empty vessels, man. All right, empty vessels that are unfit for the master's use. That's why I told you Matthew 9:16. You cannot put new wine old bottles, man. These are old bottles of people, man, walking around the earth, imagining vain things. You know, the heathen, they're sitting up building cities, building this, building that. They got Neom. They got this city called Neom over there in Saudi Arabia. They can't even finish it. They can't even finish it. But here they go. They're trying to show themselves off, just like they did in the Tower of Babel. In the Tower of Babel, they were trying to reach to the heavens and shit like that. And the Lord threw that down. The Lord said, "They will build, I will throw down." Obadiah, you know, they will build, but I will throw down. So here it is. They're building in vain, man. Everything these heathen are doing, everything a Negro, Latino is doing in the society, if it's not of the building of the third temple of the Lord, it's all vanity, man. It's all bullshit. If it's not of the kingdom of heaven, then you just building in vain. All right. They which labor in vain that build the house. Okay. Unless the Lord build the house, man. The Lord's not building America back up great again. The Lord is the time we're living in. See, if you don't get down with the program of the Lord, if you don't understand, if you don't get wisdom, the scripture say with all that getting, get understanding, right? Proverbs the 6th chapter. Let's get that. If you don't get the understanding, then you're gonna be a silly dove out there wandering about like the headless horseman, and you're gonna die for a want of wisdom. Scripture say a fool dies for a want of wisdom. All right, you supposed to we're in the information age, man, aren't we? We're in the information age where you got access to all this knowledge, and the people are more stupid, man. The people are more dumb as hell than they've ever been. Can't hold a conversation, can't speak about righteous things or actual important things. You know, they're just silly, man, like a fucking child. The Lord told you, be and understand and be men, and malice be children, man. You know, and understand and be a man. All right, you have to come to the full understanding, man, of what it is that's going on around you, man. Especially a full understanding of scriptures. The Lord told you, show yourselves men in the scriptures, man. A man has a pure understanding. The Lord said, when you get a woman, give her to a man of understanding. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man, and into the hands of foolish, vain people, man. Look at the white man; he's fucking a fool, a vain fool, man. You know, these leaders of your people are vain. They don't. The Lord's not with them. Unless the Lord build a house, they labor in vain that built it. Let's get that. Let's get that. Unless the Lord build the house. So this is why most people gonna die, because they're just silly doves. They're dumb as hell, and they're not fit for the master use. That's why, again, I always gotta reiterate the point. The Lord said, "Bring me fruit meat for repentance." This is why, because I don't bring me a bunch of silly dumbasses with vanity in their heads, man. Bring me real men, not ditzy fools, ditzy virgins. The unfool. What's it called? Foolish virgins. The scripture speak about the wise virgins and the foolish virgins, man. You know, It says wise virgins, man. Okay, not dumbasses. So most people are dumb as hell because they don't have this understanding, man, of the scriptures. That, like Theodore Roosevelt told your ass, he said that a college education is worth less than the thorough knowledge of scripture is worth more than the college education. That's what he said. Okay, and these dummies, they go to college to be dumbasses, second year wise fools, as the sophomore goes. They labor that build the house. Get that, build the house. So if it pops up. Okay, you have to be conversant in the ways of the Lord to understand what's going on in this world, man, and to be prepared for what's coming, man. All right. If you still walking around talking about Jesus and and all this dumb shit of the world, the Lord told you all this shit is lies, man. It's all lies. The things that they've taught you, the way that that your mind operates, the way that you see the world. All right. You think everybody's equal and God loves everybody, and and all this other nonsense that they teach you, man. It's all bullshit, bro. That's why you have to be reborn again. That's why the scriptures say in John the 3rd chapter, be reborn again and grow in grace and grow in the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh Shai, man, because that's gonna give you the ways of life, man, the secrets and the mysteries, man, the hidden manna, all right, of the Lord, which he's has bestowed upon his election. All right. He has bestowed upon the fruits of the kingdom, first fruits of the kingdom. But the rest of these fools are like a heathen, man. They're in vanity, man. And they're gonna go down with the heathen because they're in this silly fucking mindset, man. All right. Thinking that shit is sweet on the earth. That everybody loves them, and that they could just waltz around life aimlessly, man. Aimlessly. Gross darkness shall cover the people. Again, Isaiah 16:2. So Psalms 127 and verse 1. Except the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. See, so everything these people are doing is vanity, man. All right. Everything they're doing with their AI and with this and that, their micro C hip and all this shit, it's all fulfillment of the prophecies that the Lord may bring forth the kingdom of Yasharallah, the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, of King David, of the elected Israel, of the 12 tribes, man. Everything revolves around the scriptures. On the earth, everything revolves around the holy scriptures, man. All right. And if it's outside, it says in Isaiah 8:20, if they speak not according to his words, because there's no light in them. If it's not according to the word of the Lord, then it's darkness and vanity, man. And it's a thing of not that will not come to fruition. All right. So we have to seek out the old paths. Jeremiah 6:16. That's the way of understanding of truth, of pure light, man. Because see, the light has shined upon us. In Isaiah the 9th chapter, it says what? Let's get that too. Isaiah the 9th chapter and the first verse. It says, nevertheless, the dimness shall not be as was in her vexation, when at first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun, and afterward Naphtali, and did more grievously affect her by the way of the sea beyond Jordan and Galilee of the nations. The people that walked in great darkness have seen the great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shined. So therefore, you're no longer a dissy fool, man. Therefore, you understand what's going on around you. You're not walking around like the headless horseman, man. All right. You're not walking around like clueless, blonde in New York, like a dummy. These people are fucking fools. All right. It is what it is. If you're in the church, you're in darkness. You in some damn Jesus cult, you're in darkness. All right. You're a Muslim, you're in straight darkness. All right. You're out there and believing in the school system and the American way and joining the army. You're gonna die in the Levant and over there in the Armageddon. You're gonna die as the mountain of the troops over there, man. All right. See, a fool dies for want of wisdom. Well, all that get understanding. You're supposed to know your enemies. You're supposed to know what time you're living in. You're supposed to be adherent to the ways of the Lord, man. And lest you fall, man. Okay, so Psalms 127:1. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that built it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. Lo, children are inherited to the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. See, even having a bunch of kids in this place is vanity, man, because what the hell they gonna do? You think they're gonna grow up and become successful members of society? A nigga's trying to change the world in his own little way. That's why it says presumptuous, self-willed. See, the Lord told you, submit yourselves to the wills of the Lord, man. All right, that's what he said. But a nigga is hard-headed, man. Okay, a nigga got a hard head, man. Submit yourselves onto the will of the Lord, man. All right. See, a man is trying to do his own thing. All right. Jacob's trying to do their own things. Submit yourselves to the Most High, therefore, James 4:7. Resist the devil, he will flee from you. Draw nigh to the Most High, he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. And the people are double-minded. They say they believe in the Lord or this and that, but they silly asses have got their own agendas. See, the Lord said the wicked inventions in man. He made man upright, but man sought out many inventions, imaginations of his own heart. That's why it says Genesis 6:5. It says that the Lord looked down, he saw that every thought of man was vain and wicked as hell, man. Every thought of the man was vain. He wanted to do his own thing. He's thinking about building his own way, and doing his own thing. I'm gonna build up this company and I'm gonna do this. The Lord don't give a damn about this. The Lord says, submit yourselves to the Lord. All right. It says Psalm 78:31. It says, limit not the Holy One of Israel, man. They turned back and they limited the Holy One of Israel. And the prayer clearly says, let thy will be done on the earth as is in heaven, not my own will. The Lord came to do the will of his Father. All right. Therefore, likewise us, we're supposed to do the will of the Lord. Let thy will be done. All right. See, the Lord said what? 1 Samuel 15:23. Obedience better than sacrifice. Right. So the sacrifice of these mortal men, all right, of today is not acceptable. The Lord said what? Your reasonable service. What is going out there and doing that will of the Lord? Everything else is not building. It's not of the Lord. Everything else outside of this truth is just vanity. That's something we got to do in the flesh to survive, working and doing this and that. But look, all this other bullshit, the Lord told you, submit yourselves to the ordinance of the Lord, man. He told you to come back to him under the yoke, man, become prisoners of hope. And the Lord will lift you up already on the third day, as it said in Hosea 6:2. So you have to understand that we're living in a dark time, man. We're living in the darkest time where the people are the most dumb and they do not understand what time they live in. That's why most of them are going to perish. But it says here, it says the 8th verse. It says, draw nigh to the Most High, James 4:8, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Unto them that are defiled, unbelieving, nothing is pure. So the way of the Lord did not shine onto these people, man, onto these regular Joes and these heathens. All right, these regular Joes, civilians, as brothers like to say, and these heathens, of course, because the heathen are darkened, alienated from the Most High, separated. That's why they're imagining vain things. That's why the Lord told us to depart from them and seek out our own power, seek out our own strength. Seek out our ways in the spirit of the Lord, man, because the way of the heathen is old, it's passed away. That's the fashion of this world. That says in 1 Corinthians 7:31. But it says Sirach 18:3. Sirach 18 and verse 3. It says, he governeth the world with the palm of his hand, and all things obey his will. That includes you. Okay, for he is the king of all, by his power dividing holy things from amongst them from the profane. So all things must obey the Lord's will. All things must obey his will. And the imagination of a man's thoughts is vain. All right. It's vain. So whatever these people are talking about, it's an impure, wicked thing, because those are spirits of Satan on the left-hand side that's dealing with the flesh. And Romans 7 chapter tells you that the law of sin worketh within you, So here it is. These people are subject to the flesh, and that's why they have vain thoughts, like greed and murder and lasciviousness and backbiting and stabbing and lying and deceiving. That's all that's in their heads. That's why the Lord God returned to redo this thing, man. You know, and put a pure spirit in. That's why I say I'm a breathe. I'm breathe the spirit in you, and what I say, I'm gonna put the laws in inward parts, and give you a heart of a stone and not a heart of flesh. You know, a heart of flesh, not a heart of stone. So like it. Um, so it says, First Chronicles 28 and verse 9. It says, "But thou, Solomon, my son, thou know that the God of thy father, Yahweh Shemashai, and serve him with a perfect heart and a willing mind. For the Lord searcheth all hearts and understanding all the thoughts and imaginations of the thoughts. If thou seek him, he will be found of thee, but if thou forsake him, he will cast thee off forever. Take heed now, for the Lord hath chosen thee to build a house for the sanctuary. Be strong and do it." Right. So the Lord understanding all the imaginations of the thoughts, all right, and searching all the hearts. Okay, so he's looking for them that have the will in mind, the perfect heart, like Solomon did, all right, to build his third temple, to build his thoughts. Okay, so it says 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. It says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds." What strongholds? The strongholds that got these people's minds, the demons. That's why it says you battle not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual warfare and wickedness in high places. You know, because you're battling against the demons that's on these people. You know, and the Lord told you that you're going to defeat them in the name of the Lord. You know, you're going to tread upon serpents and scorpions over all the power of the enemy. Nothing shall by any means hurt you, because this is a spiritual fight. You know, this is a spiritual fight. My servants, if this is my kingdom, my servants will fight physically. No, but it's not a physical fight. It's a spiritual fight, right? Where the Lord is going to cast down what? The thoughts and imaginations. It says first, the 5th verse, 2 Corinthians 10 and 5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the anointed, of the Hamashiach, of the Messiah, right? So bringing into captivity every thought. What does that mean? That means everybody is going to lose all that vanity and mindset that they have here on this side under the white man. Under the white man, you're able to be free and worship anything, and just live your life, go and do your own little purpose and shit, whatever you want to do. No. The Lord said He's gonna bring every thought unto the obedience of the anointed, man. Bringing every thought. That's why when you read Daniel, the 5th chapter, it said he was a dissolver of doubts. A man that brought forth light and clarity to the earth, right? So therefore, that's what the elect of the Lord do. The prophets of the Lord, they bring forth the ways of the Lord upon the earth, which the people of the earth are not worthy or understand it unless they come through you and understand that word through the nation of Israel, through the prophets of the Lord. That's why it says in Deuteronomy the 4th chapter, this is your understanding in the sight of the heathen. Okay, in the sight of the nations, this is your light. They shall surely say that what this is a truly understanding people. That's said Deuteronomy the 4th chapter. But see, that light has been darkened for you for 1,000 years, so you become a fool, right? But now the Lord said, "Return to me, and I'll pour out water upon you, upon the dry ground." Right? That was you, the dry ground. Now you got this understanding. It says what? John 7:38. He that believeth on me, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. That water that the Lord poured upon that dry ground gonna come up out of there, and you're gonna be what? A city that's set on a hill that can't be hid. A city that bring forth light. A group of men, a family that bring forth the truth. The ambassadors of the Creator on the earth, which that this casts away all the imagination and thoughts of the heathen. That destroys all the bullshit of the earth. All this lies and trickery and deceit and all this vanity that these people got up in their heads. So it says 2 Corinthians 10 and 5 again, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High Yahweh Shemashai, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the anointed. So Psalms, the 2nd chapter, and the 1st verse. Why did the heathen imagine a vain thing, man? Why did the heathen imagine a vain thing? All right, the people rage and imagine a vain thing. All the thoughts of man are wicked and vain. All right. Okay, so The only counsel that's going to stand is the counsel of the Lord. All right. The counsel of the power of Israel and the counsel of his men, the counsel of his messengers. It says what? He will perform the counsel of his messengers, man. All right. So 2 Esdras 16 and verse 52, for yet a little iniquity shall be, for a little while, and iniquity shall be taken out of the earth, and righteousness shall reign amongst you. And let not the sinner say that he have not sinned, for the Most High shall cast coals of fire upon his head, which saith before the Lord power, his glory, I have not sinned. Behold, the Lord knoweth all the works of men, and their imaginations, and their thoughts, and their hearts. He knows that you, Jake, are stiff-necked, even in the truth. All right. He knows that they're stiff-necked. They resist the Holy Spirit. They're against the Lord, them who the Lord sent. And they are stiff-necked, self-willed, presumptuous. All right. That's what the Lord said. That's why He's gonna break in many, and the scripture say what in Job, the 32nd chapter, He's gonna break in pieces many mighty men without number. All right. Because they're not submitting themselves to the thoughts of the Lord. How about Shemashai? Because the Lord told you, many shall say, Lord, Lord, in that day. All right. Many shall say to me, Lord, Lord, in that day. And I say, I never knew you. You depart from me that work iniquity. All right. Because there's many deceivers and evil workers, even they of the circumcision, whose mouths must be stopped. Tell you that in Titus, the 1st chapter. Okay. The Lord told you, many false apostles, transforming themselves into the light, into the apostles of the Lamb, right? Deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the ministers of the power, right? So they're imagining vain things. They think that, oh well, the Lord's with us. See, that's the thing. The deceiver and the deceived are his, as it says in Job, the 12th chapter. Okay, so the true men, Lord, are going to bring forth the light, the counsel of the Lord, are going to bring forth the 100% understand the truth, and they're going to continue until the Lord returns, having their lights burning. All right, it says in Luke the 12th chapter, man. But I just want to touch on this real quick, because when you watch these damn movies and all these shows and all this other bullshit, you just see that these people have a vain mindset. When you talk to one of these people, that's why we don't really talk to these people and have conversation with them. The Lord told us separate from them, because it's vexing to hear all this bullshit that they're gonna come with. Oh yeah, what do you think about the stock market and this one, the politician, and that one? Look, it's all bullshit, man. What you can't really deal with these people like the way you would want to, and go into all these different things that you're gonna speak to them about, because they're on a low level. Most of these people are on a low level, all right, and they only understand fantasy football or regular shit, skincare routines and bullshit, man. Just vanity, vexation. That's why Lot was vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. The scriptures tell you that a wise man does scarcely speak. Why does a wise man scarcely speak? Because the people around him are not wise. The people around you are not wise. Your family members, all the rest of these people, your mama, your daddy. At the end of the day, they're on a low level, man. They just understand watching fucking movies and being entertained. A nigga always got to be entertained. Always got to be drunk or entertained, or like a kid. Their mind can't focus on deep spiritual things. But hey, the Lord gave it to you to understand. Blessed are your eyes for they see. Blessed are your ears for they hear. So likewise, it says, seek out the glory for such as be like thyself, man. And them onto that's what the Lord told Esdras, man. But anywho, it's a little two-parter. First and foremost, excited to see what the apostle gonna say later on, about the whole thing, about the whole year, what name they're gonna give the year. And then also, dealing with you silly doves, silly rabbits, of the world. You got this whole carnal mindset about what's going on. You don't understand because you're not privy to the mysteries. All right. It says in Deuteronomy 29:29. The secret things belong to us and our children, but the things belong to the Lord our power. The secret things belong to the Lord our power, but the things that belong to us and our children forever and ever, right? So the Lord told us in 1 John 2:20, you have an unction from the Holy One, you know all things. So that's for his election to understand, to know, and to speak amongst themselves. It says in Malachi 3:16, it says, they that believe in the Lord spake often one to another. All right, about what? About the end times, not about the current status quo, because the current status quo is about to be done away with, man. You know what I'm saying? So with that, hey, look forward to, what's this year going to be, the 2025, the year of whatever it's going to be, that they're going to say, We'll see. You know, it's a little exciting times you're living in because the downfall of this damn devil is upon you. Okay, as it says in 2 Ezra 2:35, be ready to the reward of the kingdom, man. Okay, because all this vanity, imaginations of men, and wickedness is going to be done away with, man. So the counsel of the Lord shall stand, and he will execute the counsel of his messengers, man. All right. So, anywho, exciting times you're living in. 25 is around a couple hours away, you know, and we shall see, man. We shall see. But with that, I say, call him like Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakakwadash, peace salutations to the election, and double honors to our apostle, great millstone. Shalom.